Hello everyone. Let's continue with our theory on what would have happened if Levi had not been injured by a thunder spear explosion. Would the rumbling still happen? Let's find out. This video features one of my favorite matchups that takes place after Levi arrives in Shiganshina. The first part of this series ended with Zeke's arrival in Shiganshina and with Levi and Hanji on their way with a tied up flock. During their journey, the two of them come up with a plan and decide to go through with it, even if it's a long shot. If you want to know how they captured Flock and what has changed in this timeline so far, I would recommend watching the first part. After Zeke's arrival in Shiganshina, the fight goes on as it does in the main story, with Zeke unleashing his artillery strikes on Peak and the Marleyan airships. However, instead of Flock, someone else is leading the group of Jaegerists to fight Peak on the wall. Peak plays dead and Magat shoots Zeke near the nape, causing him to fall down to the ground from the top of the wall. Eren beats Porco repeatedly and Magat shoots another shot through his head. The Jaegerists engage Peak again and Armin says that they should sneak up behind her. Zeke decides to scream, but stops when Colt asks him to not scream because Falco had gotten some spinal fluid in his mouth. Zeke hesitates, but decides to go ahead. Just when he says, Levi swoops down from the top of the wall, slices Zeke out of his titan, and puts his blade in his mouth like he did 4 years ago, this time to prevent him from screaming. Levi cuts Zeke's lower jaw to make sure he doesn't scream and flies away with his body. He goes into an underground tunnel where Hanji is waiting for him with Armin, Mikasa, John, and Connie. Hanji gags Zeke and gives out her orders. Mikasa will distract Peak while Levi, John, and Connie will bring Eren out of his titan so that they can have a proper discussion with him. With Zeke being taken away before he could scream, nobody is turned into a titan. But out of fear that he might still scream, Colt, Falco, and Gabby decide to flee Shiganshina on a horse. Pixis and the other military officers continue fighting with the Marleyans. Reiner and Peak attack Eren, but John and Connie take on Reiner while Mikasa tackles Peak. Levi stands on the building next to Eren and orders him to come out of his titan and surrender. He tells Eren that he would have no choice but to fight him if he doesn't listen. But Eren, being Eren, doesn't listen and starts the fight with a Warhammer spike attack. Levi is quick and evades the hit, after which he disappears behind a line of buildings. Not knowing from where Levi will attack, Eren hardens his nape. In one quick move, Levi emerges from inside a building and takes out Eren's eyes, followed by his elbows, which causes Eren's arms to disconnect and fall to the ground. Without his sight, Eren sends out spikes in random directions, but Levi evades them. Eren focuses his healing on one eye, like how Annie did when fighting Levi's squad. But before he can heal it, Levi breaks his jaw, goes in through his mouth, and slices Eren's arms and legs, similar to how the Survey Corps defeated Reiner 4 years ago. Levi takes Eren into an underground tunnel, different from the one Zeke had been taken to, and hands him over to Armin. Armin takes Eren through the tunnel towards Wall Maria, while Levi refuels his gas. But when Armin and Eren come out of the end of the tunnel, they find a big fight going on between the Jaegerists and the Marleyan army, with the Marleyans hiding inside buildings and shooting the thunder spears and making most of them explode before they can get inside the buildings they are in. However, once they see Eren, some of them start firing at him, causing Armin to partially transform to save his friend. Similar to how Eren had transformed in Trust to save Mikasa and Armin. Armin's transformation means that Eren is unattended and one of the Jaegerists picks him up and flies away. Levi emerges out of the tunnel to see Eren getting taken and chases after him, but the other Jaegerists chase after Levi. However, these Jaegerists are not sure if Levi is their enemy or ally. With his unique maneuver gear skills, Levi flies faster through the air and closes in on Eren. But to his shock, Zeke is sitting on the roof of the military building, and that is the place Eren is being taken to. Levi wonders how Zeke escaped, but Zeke is with Flock, who orders the Jaegerists to kill Levi. Levi gets surrounded by two groups of Jaegerists, the ones who are chasing him and the ones who are already with Flock, but he flies through narrow alleyways and buildings to avoid being shot or captured. He manages to slice through a dozen of them, similar to the fight against Kenny's squad in Trost, but there are still too many of them. While Levi is kept busy, Eren reaches the rooftop next to Zeke, and Zeke tells him they're finally going to fulfill their dream and extends his hand. Eren looks at the Jaegerists around him and says that they should move away as a precaution because he's not sure what will happen when he makes contact with Zeke. Flock says that could put Eren in danger since Levi is nearby, but Eren says that it won't be a problem. Once they get clear, Eren shakes Zeke's hand and they go to the paths. Everything in the paths happens in the same way it does in the main story, from Eren's betrayal of Zeke and manipulation of Grisha to his freeing of Ymir and the start of the rumbling. Thank you for watching. The next part of this scenario should be out soon. Like and subscribe to get notified about the next video.